Right, it is Thursday, and that means we are 2 days out, which also means it is time to feed this physique up. Yes, YouTube, hope everyone is good. Today, I'm going to be running you guys through my carb up for the show. So we have been digging since literally the last show. You saw the last previous video where I was running 30 gram of carb. That actually went lower, and we ran a Zero carb. So that was fun. 1400 calories for like 5 or 6 days or something like that. Yeah, that weren't that fun, I'll be honest with you. But today, we've woken up, lowest of all prep, and it's time to fill this physique up. So I'm going to get this meal on the go because it does need to be on right now. And I will show you when I'm sat down, but let's fill this tank up, man. Right, so we are in for meal number 1. As you can see here, we have got for this meal, because it's going to be split in 2, just so I've got enough on the plate. I've got 300 grams of sourdough bread, which equals up to 6 slices of sourdough bread. 105 grams of jam. So I'm just going to put that all over my sourdough and my rice cakes. I've got 2 rice cakes, 5 grams of peanut butter, and then 16 grams of whey protein. So I've got, I'm going to eat this, and then I'll have my whey protein and my other 3 slices of sourdough bread and the jam. So yeah, I'm going to eat this now because we've got meal timings today. So a carb up it's fun, but it's also quite stressful because you've got meal timings, you've got to have like digestive enzymes and like glucose disposal agents with like each meal. So it's very structured, the day needs to be. So yeah, I'm gonna give you the first taste. Of course, absolutely missed jam on toast. Cannot beat it. Macros for this meal is going to be here. They're literally going to be the same for every single meal. 40 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and 40 grams of fat. We're going to be doing those 3 meals, and then I'm going to recheck in with Tom, and then he'll adjust it from there, whether we need more or less carb. Anyways, guys, let's fill this tank up. Right, getting part 2 of the meal in, which is 16 grams of protein. So whacking that in there now. I'm going to be using the ESN Leon cereal. So it's basically chocolate caramel, and if you haven't tried this, go and try it and then thank me after. But we've got 16 grams of whey protein, 3 more slices of sourdough bread, and then the rest of the jam, which I think is like 32 grams or whatever, I don't know, but I'm gonna get that sorted. Right, that is the first meal 8. I ain't gonna lie to you, I do love sourdough, but I think it's because I haven't ate bread in so long. It actually hurts to like chew a lot because it's like good quality bread, so it's actually quite difficult to chew. But nevertheless, it was very tasty. That meal has just been consumed, but I thought I'd get on here and show you the check-ins from this morning, straight out of bed. So here they are. We woke up 191.75 pounds, which is an all-time prep low, which is sick because that is like, I think 5.5 pounds less than we was at the regional 2 weeks ago before we started carbing up. So, you know, we've taken off some weight, which is hopefully going to bring in a little bit more condition so we can be a bit tighter and if not match or just be enough conditioned to be, you know, a bit more comparable against those more conditioned guys. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm pretty happy with the shots. It's literally, the work is done now. It's just eat the food, rest up, and then we go from there. But anyways, I am going to go and get myself a haircut. So I'm going to prep my next meal so then it's ready for when I'm back. And then I will show you guys what we have. Right, so we are back from getting a trim. I need to still shower and that, so obviously it's not going to be looking as fresh as hopefully it does on the show day. That's actually one thing I hate, because you can't shower once you've had the tan on. I wake up with like the worst bed hair, and then like actually trying to do my hair on show day never goes to plan, so it always looks shit. But here's what it is. Trim is done, but I need to get this meal in before I get in the shower and shave the entire body, which is an enjoyment, to say the least. It is not. But yeah, what we have in this meal, which I am looking forward to, let me just get it up. So we have got 30 grams of whey protein, 147 grams of ESN rice pudding, 75 grams of raspberries and a mix of blueberries, 50 grams of honey, 10 grams of powdered peanut butter, because I needed some powdered peanut butter on this, and then have a chocolate squares bar with 4 grams of peanut butter on that as well, which is going to be bloody lovely. Again, this meal is 40 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, 200 grams of carbs. I'll put all the macros here. Literally, those macros are going to be the same for the first meal, second meal, and the third meal. Rechecking with Tom and then whatever he wants to do from there. But I tell you what, I am very much so looking forward to this meal. Like, look at that. Oof. Yes. Right, we are in for meal number 3. Can you guess what we have? I can, and I'm looking forward to it. If you guys can hear the washing machine in the background, then I do apologise. But what we have for meal number 3 is 34 grams of protein, 150 grams of ESN rice pudding, 75 grams raspberries, 51 grams of honey, 14 grams of peanut butter, and then 2 rice cakes with 20 grams of jam. Yes, I am looking forward to this. This meal just sits so well. Like, one of the main things why you'll see today, I've probably got 3 or 4 meals of rice pudding, and it's just because it just sits so easy. It doesn't sit as heavy, which is nice. And it's bloody tasty, and it has like cream of rice, for example, just sits a little bit heavier and it's full of sweetness, so like you just add in sweeteners which may mess up a little bit of your gut. But with the rice pudding, it's literally just kind of plain rice pudding, and then you add your stuff to it. So you add your protein, you add your honey, your berries, and you make it how you want to make it, which adds the flavour in. Of course, if I wasn't in peak week right now, I'd be using like other sweetener stuff, like the ESN flavour powder, which is unreal. So if you haven't tried those, get on them. Put it in your oats, coffee, rice pudding, your Ninja Creamies. Oh, it is literally, it's insane. But macros for this meal will be here. Like I said, this is going to be the last meal before we go and train. I've just completely shaven my body, but it was time to get a meal in, so I've just shaven. Then I'm going to eat this. I'll go and shower, sort myself out. Then we go train arms, and then that'll be the last session before we get on the stage. It's a nice little pump session, and then we come back and we see what Big Tomo says for the rest of the day. So, yeah, gonna tuck into a rice cake to start off. Rightio, so we are back from training. Thought I'd get a little bit of clips in there for you. It was literally just 2 bicep, 2 tricep, and then a little bit of side delts, and then we did a little bit of posing afterwards to send to Tom. I'll be honest, I'm not massively like happy with the shots. I am happy with the shots, but like when a couple of days before a show, you always are in your head because everyone's posting their shots and you somewhat compare yourself and you're like thinking, oh, could this be better, could that, and you just, honestly, the best thing is to just, this is how I'm trying to, go into it mentally is, I've done literally everything I can right now. I followed the plan to a T. Right now, there is nothing else I can do to bring a better package on stage other than just to listen to Tom, fill up, dry off, and see what we bring. And I know it's going to be a better package than we was at the regional, and I was pretty happy with that package. So if I am tighter, which I should be, because I'm like 5-6 pounds less in body weight, then it's going to be a better package, and I just need to just stop overthinking it and just fucking let Tom do what he needs to do, tell me what to eat, tell me what to drink, and we go from there. But yeah, as you guys just saw, I just made this meal. I've got 21 grams of protein, got the stracciatella flavour, so the kind of ice creamy flavour, so it's like a bit like milk. I've got 152 grams of Cocoa Pops, 50 grams of honey, 13 grams of peanut butter, and then 1 Squares bar. And if you're thinking, by the way, oh, why is he using cereal to carb up? We're using majority rice-based food, so obviously other than the sourdough this morning, every single one of my meals will be like rice-based. They all digest really well for me, and we also want to keep the volume down low, so that's why we're using things like Squares bars, so they're nice and condensed. So then, because we're eating like roughly around 6,000 calories a day, so we need to keep the food volume as low as possible, and make it digest nice and quick. Which cereal is a highly fast digesting food for myself, so we put cereal in, and a bit of variety in there as well. So yeah, I'm now gonna scan this meal, and then I have got to go to the shops because I need to pick up just some little bits for the carb up tomorrow. Well, not the carb up, just to have on me just in case. So like more honey, more jam, more peanut butter. That's pretty much it really. So I can have those on hand so we don't run out. And then I also need to pick up some flowers because it is mine and Lil's anniversary, 5-year anniversary, big one, big 5. So got her a little present obviously, and I need to get her some flowers. So I need to go into that, and then that'll be me done for the day. Just got to get feet up, eat the food, do some posing, and that's it, man. That is it. So yeah, let's scran this. And before I forget, obviously I checked in with Tom. He's just adjusted my food a little bit, so we have now, I'll put it all here, the macros, but we've now got 200 grams of carbs with this meal, 30 gram of protein, and then 15 grams of fat. We're going to do that for the next 2 meals, so this meal and the meal after that, and then we're going to do a 6th meal, which I'm going to recheck in before that, but it's looking like 150 gram of carb, 30 gram of protein, 15 grams of fat. So yeah, anyways, back to eating. Before I was eating this meal, I was thinking, shit, I did not say what we got. Right, it is not time for meal number 5 yet, but I am going to prepare it because I am having rice pudding, and I like to have it in the fridge at the moment just because it's quite hot. It's quite a refreshing kind of meal to have when it's a bit cooler. So yeah, but a lot of you probably don't actually know what rice pudding is, or I guess the ESN's version of rice pudding. So I thought I'd show you guys actually what it is and how to actually make it. But essentially, this is literally just a powdered rice pudding, which you literally put your amount into a bowl, add hot water, and then it cooks itself. And then you add your berries, you add your honey, you add your protein, you add your fats, so your peanut butter, your dark chocolate, whatever you want to it. And that is essentially it. So yeah, but I thought I'd show you guys how I make mine. And yeah, let's get it. So in this meal, I have 124 grams of rice pudding. And what they recommend is you use 3 times the amount of water that you put in there. So if you've got 100 grams of rice pudding, you'll use 300 grams of water. But for me today, because I'm having to track all my water, I'll have to track it with this meal. So I'm actually going to use less water, so I have more water to drink because it is a hot day and I'm actually really thirsty. So I'm trying to hold as much water as I can to actually just drink. But it also just depends on how watery and how thick you want your rice pudding. So what I say is stick to 3 times the amount that you actually put in. And then from there, you can kind of play around a bit. So if you want it a little thicker, next time make it with less water. If you want it a little bit more watery, then you make it with more water. So it literally just depends on how you want it. So yeah, I'm gonna stick in 250 grams of water, boiling hot water that is. Give that a little mix. And then literally, you've just gotta wait 2 minutes and it will thicken up and you'll have your rice pudding. As easy as that. Right, so that is it now, thickened up. So that is quite thick, but with this meal, I have 50 grams of honey. So when I add my honey to it, it actually makes it a little bit more, I guess, less thick. I then have 50 grams of raspberries. I like to just mix them in, so they're all mixed in, but some people like to put them on top when it's a little bit cooler, so they've got like, it just depends on how you want your fruit. I like to have it mixed in, so it's almost like adds to the flavour of it. Right, I was just in the middle of making this and then Tom just called me, but I'll let you know what he was talking to me about on the call because it's quite interesting. You guys might be interested. But yeah, so let me just remind myself where I was at. So obviously I've added the rice pudding, I've added the honey, and then I've added my berries. Whilst my rice pudding was actually like cooking, if you want to call it that, I made my whey paste. I'm currently using the dark cookies and cream flavour for this meal anyways. So I made that into a paste, which I'm actually going to add a little bit more water to now. But yeah, so I make that into a whey paste, and I literally will just drizzle that on top. I then have 15 grams of peanut butter, using the squeezy peanut butter as well. If you don't have this, it is probably more expensive to have it being squeezy, but listen, yeah, convenience and it tastes banging. So I've got 15 grams of that, and it's actual peanut butter as well. It's not powdered peanut butter, so I actually get to have the real stuff, which is nice. And then lastly, I'm going to add 12 grams of 85% dark chocolate. So I literally just cut it up onto the board, and then I will sprinkle that on top. Right, there you have it. That is how I make my ESN rice pudding, and it is absolutely banging. But like I said, you can do so much with that. You can obviously add protein to it. You can add literally whatever fat, whatever berries, bananas, fruit, you know, just whatever you want to it really. Like, it is pretty goddamn banging and it tastes good. Another thing that I actually like to do, but I'm not doing it leading into my peaks, I'm trying to take out all seasonings, sweeteners, is I will add the ESN flavour powders. So you got the dark cookie crumble there, and then another one of my favourites is the dark cookies and salted caramel, and they're literally like 5 or 10 calories. It's basically just sweetener. You can add that to your rice pudding, you can add it to your oats, you can add it to pretty much anything you want, and it bangs. So I am now gonna whack that in the fridge so I can have that later, and that is pretty much it. So that is how I make my rice pudding. Right, it is time for meal number 5. Let me just recap you on what we have. So we have 16 grams of whey protein, 124 grams of rice pudding, 50 grams of raspberries, 50 grams of honey, 15 grams of peanut butter, 12 grams of 85% dark chocolate, and then we have 4 rice cakes, with 40 grams of jam. Oh yes, looking forward to this one. So this will be meal number 5. And then we've got another one later on. So, yep, gonna crack on with this. Macros for this meal will be there. Right, meal has been scanned. It was bloody lovely, and it's so sad to think I have only one more meal left. But it's so weird because literally those first 3 meals that I had was more food than I have had in the last 2 days. But like, my body is just absolutely eating through it, and it actually feels really good. It's all sitting really well, so like, I'm happy. I've got another meal in about just over 2 hours probably, and then that will be me done for the night. And then obviously we reassess in the morning, see what weight is, because obviously we got to make weigh-ins on for 5 o'clock, I'm pretty sure it is. So we'll be lower than the cap because we've got 11 pounds under, but obviously we fed up hard today, which is obviously going to add a little bit of weight. So we need to see what we've got room to play with, and then obviously in the morning we'll have, you know, the weight of food and, well, you know, yeah, food and drink. So we need to, you know, obviously take that into account. So it will be a day of weighing myself after like every meal, which is fun, but we get it goddamn done. Anyways, literally I'm gonna get a little bit of steps in just to help with digestion. I'm gonna do a bit of posing work, and then I will recheck in with Tom in probably about an hour and a half, and then we will see what the big man orders next. Right, so we just checked in with Tom. We have just weighed in 198 pounds, which in my head is actually pretty good, because that's basically just under 7 pounds we've like put on today, and that's with food volume in, and like just under 6 litres of water. I usually drop 5 to 7 pounds overnight, so I can imagine he's going to carry on with this load the way we've planned to. So we'll have another 200 gram of carb, or I think 150. We'll see. I've sent over the shots. I'm pretty happy with them. Let's just see what Big Tomo says. All right then, Tom has got back to us. And originally what we had planned for this meal was 150 gram of carb, 30 gram of protein, and then 15 grams of fat. But instead, because the weight wasn't as high as we actually anticipated it on being, we've got an extra 50 gram of carb. So 200 grams of carbs, 30 grams of protein, and then 15 grams of fat. I'll whack the macros there, even though I've told you guys what I've had. But in this meal, we've got 17 grams of whey protein, 122 grams of rice pudding, 50 grams of raspberries, 50 grams of honey, 15 grams of peanut butter, 12 grams of 85% dark chocolate, and then 4 rice cakes with 40 grams of jam. Oh yes. So that's gonna go down a treat. Cannot wait for that. It's just a good meal. Trust me, when a meal, I've ate a lot of food today, like literally, I'll put the total macros and calories there, but the total calories for today was 6,443, which is quite a lot. And that's why we needed to choose like highly digestible, fast absorbing foods, like your rice puddings, your rice cakes, jam, honey, and we also needed to keep them like quite low volume as well. Like, yes, I'd like to volumize these meals so I feel fuller, but you know, we needed to keep the stomach nice and tight. Otherwise, we'd just be fucking feeling full. The look, I wouldn't be able to pull a vacuum and whatnot. So you got to be quite strategic. Can't say that word.
with the food that you're using, to ensure that, like, you know, your gut stays all good, your digestion's nice, and you actually absorb the food as well. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of food, but it's been quite nice considering I have been eating 1400 calories. So I've eaten like the last 4 days worth of calories in one day, which is pretty mad. Literally over that, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna tuck into this, and I'll see you in the next clip, which will be probably us signing off. Alrighty, bloody I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Big 1,200 gram carb up. Yeah. And you know what? I feel like I could eat more. Like, I still feel like quite tight on the stomach. Like, it feels good. Like, this has been a good carb up. Like, this is pretty, I can't complain. So yeah, tomorrow it is gonna be 1 day out from the stage, from the Train by JP Pro Qualifier, where, you know, we could come home a potential pro. We may come home pushing the limits, where we may push on, or we may come home knowing that we need to put on more size and we've got more work to do to be worthy of that pro level ranking. And you know what, those 3 options, at the end of the day, I'm gonna bring my all. Of course I want to win, of course I want to get a pro card, but you know what, I just love bodybuilding, so no matter the result, they're all good, and we can still, obviously there's ones, you know, they are better, so, you know, not getting a pro card and knowing that we've got to go in the off season obviously is the worst one, but they're all still good. They're still like, there's still routes of progression, and either way they all get me excited. So yeah, let's just bring our all now. The work is done. 1 day out tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get this video out before the show day, but if not, I apologize. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really appreciate all the support everyone has been giving me throughout this prep. It means honestly the world. So yeah, I've been loving pumping this content out, and I look to do so for as long as I can. So yeah, anyways, love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace.